Well, good evening. I'm going to call to order this meeting of the Blythewood Planning Commission. Today's date is January the 3rd. It's 6 p.m. or shortly afterwards. Could you, Mr. Wilson, call the roll?
Yes, sir. Malcolm Gorge.
Here.
Ed Kessler.
Here.
Erica Page.
Here.
Marcus Taylor.
Here.
Ken Coleman. Jamal Mosley.
Here.
Martin Wells.
Here.
Thank you. And can you confirm that the agenda has been properly notified and posted in accordance with state law?
Yes, sir, it has.
Thanking you. Next item C is adoption of the agenda. Is there any discussion, any comments, additions, amendments proposed? Otherwise, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Motion to approve. House presented.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The agenda is accepted. Move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. If you join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And we have some brief minutes to approve. Again, any comments? Otherwise, is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
I make a motion they be approved as presented.
Second.
Motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are accepted. Okay, so now we can move on to the exciting part of tonight with our election of officers for the Planning Commission. The first item is election of the chair. I've been chair for a year, is it? I think it's been a year. I'm more than happy to continue if you wish, or if you wish to nominate somebody else, please speak up. Otherwise, I have a motion to accept myself as chair.
Well, if you don't mind continuing, and my second pick will be Jamal Mosley for vice chair.
We'll do the vice as a second.
That B, yes, sir.
We have a motion.
I motion it.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, gentlemen. I will continue as chair. And we have one more commissioner. Good evening. You come in at just the right time.
Awesome. Good to be here.
So we're at the point of electing the officers for the Planning Commission, and I've been elected chair to continue that position. So now we're at item B, and we're looking for nominations for vice chair, and we've had one nomination for Ed Kessler to be the vice chair. That's a continuation of where we were. Any further comments or discussion?
We're making a call to nominate Jamal Mosley.
I have a motion and a second.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Mr. Kessler,
Is that for B?
Hold on,
that's for B.
Vice Chair?
Yeah.
hold on. Before we do that, I believe he was saying that he wanted to nominate Jamal Mosley.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
He nominated Jamal. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I seconded.
Right.
Yes, that was the motion, correct?
Yeah.
So the motion was to nominate Mr. Mosley as the vice chair.
Marcus made it.
Correct. And Ed,
All good? All good? And item C is nomination and election for our secretary, which would be Mr. Wilson. So I'll make a nomination that Mr. Wilson continues as our secretary.
Second.
You can nominate anybody else in this room. I'm just kidding, I'm sorry.
Well, you've done a grand job this
I'll
last
take,
period. So.
I'll take it again for another year.
Right. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Sorry, I was cutting up. Who made the motion? Who made the motion to nominate me?
You made the motion to nominate, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay,
I second it.
thank you.
All right. Okay. So, to business, item 3, discussion item regarding the update on the proposal to rewrite land uses ordinance and creation of an annexation policy.
Excuse me. For the vice chairman.
For the vice chairman.
Did we-
For the secretary. We have a motion and a second, and now we have to do aye and nay, and then we can move on to the next item.
Did we not do that?
I think we did on the secretary, but I don't think you did on the vice chair.
Vice Chair, I think we're good. You motioned, excuse me, he motioned, you seconded.
For you.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But
then
no-
we did aye.
We did do an
As
aye?
far as
Yeah.
secretary, we asked that Kirk remain the secretary. We had a motion and a second, but we did not have a.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Aye.
Aye.
Good.
Okay.
What's in the air?
Just shaking out the cobwebs for 2023. We're getting all this out of the way early.
72 degrees today, everybody's a little,
Yeah, I know. The park was, everybody was in the park today.
Got up out. That's so nice.
I apologize for that, if any
no problem, sir.
mishandling on my part. So, back to item 3, and updating on the proposals to rewrite a land usage ordinance and creation of an annexation policy. Mr. Williamson, do you think you can?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, I think I've briefed y'all before that we put out a request for proposals for a consultant to rewrite the land usage ordinance, essentially the zoning ordinance, plus the land development ordinance, which is includes all the processes associated with submitting plans that go through the planning commission and all the requirements. So that's all combined into one, and it's called land usage ordinance in our current ordinance. So that's why it says land usage ordinance. And then there's been a desire by council for a long time to do more annexation. And so this was an effort to use these same consultants who are already looking at land usage to also use them to help the town create an annexation policy. So we put out the request for proposals, and we sent it out. So we've received 4 proposals in the end of November, and Chairman Mr. Gorge and I looked at them and narrowed down to 2 very good qualified planning firms, and took that to council and recommended these are 2, and that we recommended interviews with them. And so I just tell you that the 2 firms are, the first is Kendig Keast Collaborative, which has been operating in the state doing several of these for a long time, and then the second is a firm called Stewart Incorporated that has an office here in Columbia, and has been working though in the Southeast for a while. But 2 very strong candidates. I do have the proposals at Town Hall if you would like to look at them. But we have the interview scheduled for this Friday in the afternoon. So it's part of a council meeting. So they'll come to just do an interview / kind of presentation to council on Friday afternoon. So you're welcome to attend if you like. And then at the January 23rd town council meeting, they'll vote to select which firm, and then we'll get started with that, and then they will come to planning commissions and work meetings and work closely with you all at that time. So I just wanted to give you an update on where we are with that and answer any questions you may have.
One of the companies is local, is the other one from out of state? Or?
It's in state. I think the lady I'm talking to lives in Simpsonville.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, they've done for a long time. I know they did Florence County, and they've done several others that I just don't have it off the top of my head right now, but they've been operating here. So that was part of what was distinguishing them from the others as well, among other things. But
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you for that. Item 4, citizen testimony regarding action items that we've just covered. Is there anything? No. We can move on quickly to approval of our meeting schedule for 2023, which was in your packet on the last page.
I make a motion that the meeting schedule for 2023 be approved as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Meeting schedule is approved. Thank you. Any other business?
Mr. Chair, just wanted to mention that although y'all just completed the annual training for 2022, if you want to get a jump on things, you can absolutely do that right now in 2023. And they're also, I will look at the South Carolina Association, American Planning Association, if they have some day-long conferences nearby or something, if that's something y'all would be interested in, I'll send that out to you as well. I know that'd be something better than just watching a video and be something more applicable. And I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Mr. Chair.
Any other comments or suggestions? Jamal, was it you that talked to me recently about seminars on traffic circles and roundabouts?
Yes.
You came across?
Yes. So one of the links that we received in the continuing ed was a link to a lot of YouTube videos. Being that we are roundabout is one of the talking points for our comprehensive plan going forward. There's a very informative hour-and-a-half video on roundabouts that gives examples of other cities and towns, interviews with experts that have been doing it for decades, and the biggest takeaway from it was the safety features that roundabouts provide over traditional intersections in terms of vehicles and pedestrians. So that's one of the good ones to watch.
Could you send that link to Mr. Williamson and he can then
Absolutely.
distribute it?
Oh, that'd be great.
I think you told me the name of it,
Okay.
I believe. But yeah, it's on that same list. Not talking into the mic, there's about 120 videos, I believe, and it was in that list there. And I haven't watched it, but it certainly does sound very interesting.
And it's helpful to have a short list because 120 videos take a long time to go through.
Yeah, and I can try and dig through that and find it and maybe extrapolate that video and send it out to everybody. So.
Yeah, no.
I did the one on EV charging stations, which I found very interesting. Really you don't realize how many other towns already have charging stations in place. And I don't think we have any here.
I think we have 2 at the New Hilton Hotel, if I'm not mistaken. I believe so.
I didn't know.
The town had some And then they were they fell out of the disrepair, and, you know, they've been updated several times, and the town was paying the electrical bill for them, and so the town just decided, okay, let's turn it over to the actual property owners, and then they can, I mean, it's an incentive for them, because that attracts folks to them. So we just turned it over to the individual property owners for them to manage or replace. So there was one at some of the BP or the Exxon, I believe, and the Days Inn, and then there was parking space for them at the Home to Suites. I don't know if they have installed them yet, but when we did the inspection, they had them designated. But yeah, there certainly is. I did reach out to one of the companies, it's just called Empower America, because the ones that have the like super fast ones, and asked them for some information. They haven't responded yet, but I do think that they're if we can facilitate having on some private property, I think that would be best, rather than the town getting into the business of maintenance, because I think they are fairly high maintenance.
I would fully concur with you. So
Yeah.
this on New Year's Eve, I went and traded my vehicle in, and I got an electric vehicle.
Okay.
It was a gift to myself. But once I got that vehicle, when you get it, there's a couple of different options. The vehicle itself comes with the power cord, so that you can just charge it to a regular outlet in your house for 120, and then for 240 as well. But then you can also have a power dock installed inside of your home, and then you have the normal ones you would see around the city. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's the most prudent thing to make it necessarily a priority for the town to focus on. I agree with you as far as property owners privately being able to manage their own, because it keeps the costs off of us of having to maintain it long term. But I say all of that to say, keeping in mind that when people are going out and purchasing these vehicles, they are at a minimum getting the initial kit to be able to maintain it in-house. So then if the businesses that they're going to, specifically those private property owners, decide that they want to have that option, then allow them to have that option. That's my perspective from the outside, just being as a new buyer getting one.
Right. I can update you, speaking of like traffic circles, that the construction proposed the bids for the widening of Blythewood Road went out in December, and I think that Richland County is going to vote on that at the end of January. And then I've spoken with kind of the project manager, who said that they would expect work to begin in the spring. So,
With that roundabout in consideration in that area of Blythewood and Community Road area, I know right out front of Cobblestone, there are two very old trees that probably are going to have to remain there. Just looking at the way that conservation law and tree activists work in the area. I know if you've ever been to the Walmart on Garner's Ferry Road, you'll notice that they've got huge old trees like right in the middle of the parking lot. They had to engineer that parking lot around those trees because they couldn't take them down. So I'm not sure where specifically we're discussing that roundabout. I just know in front of Cobblestone, between the entrance and exit, are two huge trees, and we're talking about expanding the road there as well. So that's something to drive by and take into consideration.
I think that area has seen a lot of attention in developing the design of the widening of Blythewood Road. So I'm sure that's under consideration. I think there was a plan to kind of put a sweep in the road.
Well, it's changed so many times that it's,
That's right. Quite where they are with the detail,
I don't know where
we
they
don't
are.
know. But on the other hand, I think they are putting the project out to bid, so they're pretty close to actually making a start. Okay. Very good. So, any other Citizens' comments.
There's none.
That being said then, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting. We have a motion from
Second.
Marcus, we have a second from Mr. Kessler. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much. Congratulations.